everybody, I'm Harriet and welcome to your practice. Today's class is going to be all about improving your back strength for Arabesque. So whether you are a dancer or whether you are a yogi, there's lots of things to take away here to improve your back strength for Arabesque, but also if you're just working towards improving your back strength and flexibility for back bends in your yoga class. So it crosses over between dancers and yogis. We're going to be really focusing on engaging and strengthening the paraspinal muscles, which are the long muscles that run along the spine. We're also going to be building flexibility and strength evenly. And we're going to be looking to cultivate a length through the spine rather than compressing down into the more mobile areas of the spine, which are the lower back and also into the neck. So when you're ready, grab your mat and then make your way down onto the floor. So starting away straight into child's pose, big toes together, knees wide, and then sending the arms forward, forehead down to the floor. Allow the eyes to close. And just start to become aware of your breath. Lengthening out your inhales, lengthening out your exhales. And as you start the practice in child's pose, just being aware of the natural curve of the spine in this forward fold. Noticing if there's any areas of tension, any areas that feel tight. Take one more cycle of inhale and exhale. And then on your next inhale, make your way up tabletop position. And we're just going to start to mobilise the spine a little bit more with a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, the belly falls, the gaze is forward. Exhale, use the hands, press into the floor, round through the spine. So starting to mobilise the pelvis, the spine, the upper back, gently into the head and neck. And then as you exhale, taking that action the other way, rounding through the spine. And again, just being aware of your own body and noticing parts or areas of the spine that maybe there's some more mobility. Maybe there's some areas that are feeling slightly tight, even restrictive. As dancers, we tend to have a lot of mobility down in the lower part of the spine. And there tends to be a tightness through the upper back. Take one more cycle with your breath. And then when you finish, come back into a neutral spine. So allowing there to be a natural curve in the lower back. You've probably found that doing those cat-cows, a lot of the attention was on the lower back and the mobility of the lower back, and maybe not so much into the upper back in between the shoulders. So we're going to look at creating more movement within this area. So taking the hands again, just checking underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide. And we're going to concentrate as much as we can to keep the action of the pelvis still and just looking at protracting and retracting the shoulder. So as you inhale, allow the shoulder blades to squeeze together in the back and the heart to move towards the floor. As you exhale, use the hands, press through the spine, start to round through the upper back, and feel the scapula, the shoulder blades move away from one another. Inhale, allow the tips of the shoulder blades to squeeze together, the heart to move forward. And then exhale, press the hands into the floor, feel the upper back move. Rounding, shoulder blades moving apart. And to begin with, this may be really tricky to find that action as you inhale, the chest moves forward. Maybe there's a slight curve or space created in between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, there's a rounding through the spine as the scapula move apart. Keeping the pelvis as still as possible, so the movement is really being generated by the scapula sliding across the back. And starting to build a bit of heat, some movement, and as dancers and into an area we don't particularly get a lot of movement into. Take one more cycle with your breath, noticing the sensations in this area. And then make your way down onto your belly, setting up for Sphinx pose. So bringing the elbows directly under the shoulders. And when you look down at the forearms, they're creating a parallel line to one another, almost like the number 11. As we inhale and lift our chest forward in Sphinx, rather than thinking we have to create more flexibility and using the arms to push up, can we think about creating length? So the sternum is going to move forward of the hands, the elbows slightly tug back, and the fingertips claw down into the floor. So rather than height and flexibility, can we find length and strength? And just allow the head and neck to be a continuation of the spine. As you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest. Start to stretch out through the back of the neck. And then inhale again, just bring the head and neck to be a continuation of the spine. One more time, bring the chin down towards the chest. Feel the stretch at the back of the neck. And then inhale, lifting the chest. Again, allow the head and neck to take a natural line of continuation through the spine. So rather than dumping the head back, continuing the line through the spine. Exhale, bring the chest down and then sneak the hands, this time underneath the shoulders, fingertips in line with armpit creases. Setting up for an easy cobra pose. Roll the shoulders up and back. Squeeze the elbows in. As you inhale, start to lift the chest, low cobra. So again, as dancers, we tend to want to always go towards the flexibility. Can we pull back a bit? And rather than focus just on flexibility and shape, can we focus on also building strength? So the same principles in Sphinx. The chest is moving forward as the elbows tug back, squeeze in. Exhale to bring the torso down to the floor. We'll do cobra one more time. Inhale to lift the chest, elbows squeeze in. But this time start to integrate using the arms to press down, to lift the chest a little bit higher. Exhale, bring everything down to the floor. Bring the hands to rest beside the body, palms facing down. And then as we want to work both flexibility and strength, locust pose is a really great pose to integrate within your practice. So for the moment, keeping the tops of the feet pressing down. As you inhale, start to lift the chest. And again, we're looking to cultivate length rather than flexibility. So if you're finding that you want to press up and lift really high, can you see if you can calm that intention and instead think about finding length and distributing the curve through the whole spine. Start to integrate lifting the hands. Keep breathing. And then start to lift the feet. Again, doesn't have to be high. We're more thinking about finding length and almost skimming the body through water rather than looking to cultivate height. Exhale, bring everything down, right ear down to the floor. Take one more of these. So squaring the head and neck. Start by just using the arms and the chest to lift to begin with. Inhale, chest lifts. Think chest is drawing forward. Reach the arms back. And then exhale, start to integrate the feet into the pose as well. And maybe you can start to feel the paraspinal muscles along the back of the body start to build up, start to maybe shake or quake. And as dancers, this is great for building strength in holding our arabesque. Exhale, bring everything down, left ear down to the floor, and then bending the knees, windscreen wipe the shins side to side. And as dancers, we tend to work in opposition. So if we're in an arabesque, we're tending to have one arm forward and the opposite leg back. So how can we integrate some of that training into our practice and build strength and flexibility within our back? So to start, bring the forearms down, right hand on top of the left, and bring the forehead towards the back of the right hand. Left hand is going to stay in contact with the floor. Take a big inhale in, and then as you exhale, start to lift your chest and your right arm, and lifting your left leg in opposition. Again, doesn't have to be high. Think about cultivating length, even distribution of the curve through the spine. Exhale to bring the foot and the hand back down to the floor. And then changing the cross. This time left arm on top, left back of hand to the forehead. Inhale, lift your chest, lift the left arm. Lifting the right leg in opposition. Continue to regulate and steady your inhales and exhales. Bring everything down to the floor, changing up. We'll do the same thing one more time. Right arm on top. Bring the forehead to the back of the right hand. And then as you exhale, lifting the right arm, the chest, and the left leg in opposition. Think about drawing the chest forward, not up and back. Exhale, release, changing the arms. Left hand to the back of the head. Inhale, lift your chest. Lifting the right leg in opposition. And then exhale, bring everything down. Allow the arms to rest beside the body. Bend the knees, windscreen wipe the shins side to side. And when you're ready, transition back into downward facing dog. So you may find that there's some more sensation, some more heat in the back body. Feeling that you've built flexibility and also strength. Just take a moment to lengthen out the lower back.
lengthen out the entire spine and allow the head and neck to be relaxed. Starting to integrate a bit more deeper back bend. Inhale, rock forward to a high plank. Exhale, start to transition the hips forward, lifting the chest, upward facing dog, so a slightly deeper back bend. Exhale, rock back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to high plank. And then the hips lead down and forward. You roll over the tops of the feet. Upward facing dog, same thing. Draw the chest forward. Slight bend in the elbows. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take one more cycle in downward facing dog. And then as you exhale, bring the knees down to the floor. Make your way to a comfortable seat. We're just going to finish the class with some forward bends. Otherwise, bring the soles of the feet together, knees are wide. Don't worry about the shape or the flexibility. And just start to find an easy forward fold over the legs. Release the head and neck. And then inhale, lift the chest, come all the way back up to a seat. Sukhasana, crossing the shins, shins parallel to one another, and taking the feet underneath the knees, flex both feet out. Find an easy twist towards the right side of your room, right fingertips behind the back. And just find an easy rotation of the torso round towards the right side of your room. Exhale, release, and then take the twist round towards the left. Allowing the head and the neck to be a continuation of the spine. So notice if there's a tendency to want to crank the neck round. Exhale, release. And then just taking a moment to conclude practice just with a minute of seated meditation. So bring the hands onto the knees, either palms up or palms down, and allow the eyes to gently close. Allow yourself to root down into stillness. And take a moment to just be aware of your whole body within space, and the rhythm of your inhales and exhales. Starting to deepen your breath. Bringing easeful movement back to the fingers and to the toes. Slowly allow the eyes to open and bring the hands together in towards heart center. We'll close this mini practice with a deep inhale and exhale. Take a breath in. Open the mouth, exhale out. Bring the thumb knuckles to eyebrow center, and together we say namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much, dancers and yogis. I really hope that that mini practice has helped you to find ways to integrate more strength and flexibility within your practice. Whether you're working towards an arabesque or whether you're just looking to improve your back bends in class, hopefully you can take some of those poses into your practice straight away. Be sure to leave me a comment, let me know how you get on, and be sure to subscribe to stay tuned for more videos. And I look forward to welcoming you to a class very soon.